Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Prairie Banana back with another introduction to the pTGC token. We're going to talk a little bit about the ecosystem, however you want to say it. And just this is for new people. Like, there has been some adoption. I saw some new people in the chat this week. I'm like, let's go ahead and do the class. So it's been a couple weeks, so I'm a little rusty, but I'm going to try to keep myself on task and deliver all the goods to you. Now, if you are, I don't see anybody coming in there. I want to give people just a minute. If you're an OG, I want you to contribute and give me ideas of things that we can incorporate into this class that will help people to hit the deck running when they come into the system, or entice them to come in, because we think this thing's going to blow up. We all believe that. Boy, it's a great time to buy. Just saying, it's a great time to buy. Now, we'll have a look at the chart and all that. But let's start with a little bit of housekeeping. Like and sub. Subscribe to my channel. I don't produce a lot, but what I do, obviously, it's going to be something I'm passionate about, like pTGC today. Revo, it's good to have you here. And Romeo, CO, Guy, good to have you guys here. 4 people in. Cool. I wonder if we can get up to 25 today. That'd be interesting. Oh, we already lost one. They'll come. This is just fun. I like to watch the numbers. I really don't care. We get I'm not really after subs. It'd be nice. I guess I can increase my influence by having more subs, right? Yeah. But want to help you guys get acclimated if you're not yet. That is the purpose of this presentation. Like the video to help the algorithm. Subscribe to my channel if you would. Put a 1 in the chat if you're brand new, just so I can know that. Tell me where you're from. Where are you guys from? Don't be super specific. I can tell you I'm in the Northwest United States. If we have a lot of people in the chat, make your questions plain to me. And you can do that by hitting the caps button. Don Ferry, good to have you in here. Ireland, wow, that is so cool. None of this is financial advice. This presentation it's mainly for brand new people. This should be in my ending notes. But right now, I shouldn't talk about this right off the bat. You could buy a dolphin, but I want to make sure I cover it. You could buy a dolphin position for like $1,300, which is 0.01%. 0.01% is a whale, 0.1 is a shark, 0.01 is a dolphin. So a dolphin position, $1,300. There are, I see people in the chat talking about the support. Alien would be the support token. The legitimate official amplifier tokens are Burn, Liquid, 808, and Energy. I recommend getting your position in pTGC and then perhaps having a look at some of those other tokens. But, get your head wrapped around the pTGC platform and all that before you venture into the other tokens. So pTGC is a leverage play on Pulse. Those other tokens would be a leverage play on pTGC, especially Alien, I believe. You can correct me if I'm wrong. And there is something new coming to the pTGC ecosystem. I don't know that officially, but there have been a lot of hints from people that would probably know. So, and what's probably going to happen to the price when something new comes along. So if you don't have your bags packed, you should probably think about that. And that's not advice. We are going to go over these. So that was the outline. That was the housekeeping. Rolando, it's good to have you in here. Alien pTGC, yes, sir. Did I see, Revo says, did you see the RH tweet, liquidity pairs and working at a potential price? I didn't see that. I did not. What would that have to do with? If you could explain, that'd be great. Let me know where you guys are from. Okay, we are going to talk about security. What is pTGC? We're going to read the white paper, not all of it. Review the site. We're going to talk about how to on-ramp to the Pulse chain where pTGC lives. We're going to review some calculators real quick that I've developed. There's a link in the description. Review some resources in the description. I want to make sure you guys know what's in the description of the video, and we'll have some final notes, and then we'll close it out. Okay, security. I'm big on security. Why? Because I have made mistakes. And in crypto, we are our own bank, and we need to take that very serious because it's a peer-to-peer transaction. There's no middleman that you can call and say, I lost my seed phrase, or I sent money to the wrong address. We don't have that privilege. So we need to make sure that we're doing everything up to and touching. It needs to be done perfect. Okay. Security is very important. I recommend using a hardware wallet. I like these little guys. I like the Trezor One. I think they're a Trezor One. And I like them because they're tactile. I think that's the word. They have a button and you can, I don't know if you guys can hear that. No, it doesn't. It actually doesn't click. But there's a bigger one, to the Model T, and it's more expensive and has a touch screen, which I don't care for. I mean, I like to be able to reach. I have my computers away from me and I'll reach and press those buttons, right? I recommend saying your transactions out loud. I have a new principle when I'm on the website. When I'm claiming, I say claim, then I hit the button, claim, and then I read the contract address, the beginning, the middle, and the end of it. Thank you, Kugad, for teaching me that. That was really useful. I recommend no phone on crypto. No crypto on the phone. Don't do crypto on your phone. Not a good idea. You should always be doing it on a wired network. I mean, if you want like the hyper secure, you need to be using a wired network. And if you want to be hyper secure, you're using a laptop or a computer that's dedicated to crypto. And to be quite honest, I don't use a dedicated laptop, but perhaps when my assets are worth more, I will buy a laptop and do that. There's so many things in security, and you can look it up on the internet and learn about security, but these are just a few little things. Use an MEV blocker if you're swapping assets, and it's really, I hope I have an MEV blocker in the description because it's so super simple to install that. Write your transactions out on paper. Like if you're doing a series of transactions, I recommend just write it out because something might come to mind that you can do more wisely. Watch your wallet, watch your transactions, store your seed phrase on stainless steel. I have mine on literally stainless steel. Let me see if I can show you an example. This is an index card, but my stainless steel plates are a little bit smaller than this, and I literally got an engraver and wrote them down. And then don't let everybody know that you are in crypto. Your buddies in here, of course, we're pretty much anonymous. We don't know much about each other. But, I don't let everybody know that I'm into crypto. San Antonio, Texas is here. I burned Zen for TGC on day 1. Dude, I love it. Sold half bag, but been buying back in. Right on, dude. He says, got a little bit of funds stuck in a ledger because I can't figure out how to update the software. Yep, I've lost funds, fat finger in transactions. Yeah, dude. Yeah. I'll tell you about how I got wrecked in pTGC when I first came in. And you can hardly do it right now. So that's a good thing. So we're going to talk about a lot of that stuff. So we're done with security. Let's talk about what pTGC is. And I got all this stuff written down. I don't have it in my head. Okay, so I am not a talker, guys. I am not good at presenting, but I'm willing to do this to bring you guys in. All right. pTGC is a fully renounced smart contract on the Pulse network. In other words, it's a crypto smart contract. It's immutable. It cannot be changed. It's been running for 6 months. Okay, so there have been no issues with it. It was fair launched. It's a tax token, 5% tax. It's a DAO where the top 100 stakers can submit proposals. DAO stands for Decentralized Autonomous Organization, and it's really cool if you look into it. The unique feature of pTGC, besides its deflationary supply, is that there's a 5% tax on all buys, sells, and transfers. This includes the AMM bots that keep the pairs in parity. Yep. Even the bots need to pay a 5% tax, and it's paid in Pulse. 2%. So you're wondering, like, where's this 5% tax go to? Well, 2% goes to the DAO, and it can be used to strengthen liquidity. It can also be used to burn pTGC, which reduces the supply, which increases the value. And we saw that this week. I think 100 million pTGC was burned this week, if I'm not mistaken. Dude, 100 million out of 300 billion is not a small percentage. And that was just this week. And it happens frequently in this system. We are burning pTGC to the ground. It's wonderful. So 2% goes to that DAO. 1% goes to the holders. So if you just hold pTGC in a wallet, you're going to make 1% of that 5% tax. And bear in mind, these AMM bots are balancing pairs all across the Pulse network. And pTGC is paired with like 25 blue chip assets. And as they get out of parity, the AMM bots got to go in and buy and sell to balance them out. And they're paying a 5% tax every time they do that. 2% goes to the DAO. 1% goes to the holders, just holding. 1% goes to holders and stakers. 0.5% is used for liquidity, and 0.5% is burned out of existence. Out of every single transaction. Some of these transactions might be $5. They could be $100. They could be several $100. 5%. That boggles my mind. One of the most redeeming qualities of pTGC, besides its rapidly deflating supply, is its staking. I love staking. When I saw it, I was like, wow, this is so cool. You can literally, unlike some other staking projects, like let's say you have a stake of $1 million and it's earned 1,000. You don't have to unstake that million. You can literally add your 1,000 to your million, and you can do it as often as you want. And because we're on the Pulse network, the transaction fees are inexpensive. Cheap, okay, can we put it that way? I love the staking. You can compound easily because stakes aren't locked into a time frame. That is true. That is true. Lockers are locked into a time frame, but not the stakers. As supply decreases, your reflections will increase. So the supply right now, let's just call it 300 billion. And let's say you have 100 million pTGC and you're earning like 20,000 per day. Well, as that supply reduces, the amount of reflections that you are earning is going to increase. So if the supply is cut in half, 150 billion, then your reflections are going to be 40,000 per day. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, guys. I mean, that's how I see it. Let me know if you would. And if you're seeing this after the fact, just make a comment in the chat or reach out to me on Twitter or Telegram. And you can compound. If you compound, you simply amplify that. So if you're compounding, and we'll talk about this a little bit later, but you're adding to your principal, and then so you're increasing your position. And I'm going to tell you what, man, guys, making small moves over time moves things. And you think, well, what's 20,000 pTGC? It's only worth 9 cents right now. Well, what's it going to be worth in a year? So I'm big on compounding. It's like one of the most amazing tools that we have to increase our wealth. I would say the main characteristic is that earnings are volume dependent. So we earn more when there are more transactions on the Pulse network, which we have not even seen yet, right? We like volume is like the missing ingredient. We are still earning every single day, but the missing ingredient is not here yet. And that's volume on the Pulse network. And when it comes, stand by, boys and girls. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. All right, guys. Now we got to get to this white paper. So hold tight. Oh, I got to share my screen here. Hold on. Oh, it reduced here. Hold on. Bear with me. I'm going to share my screen, but I want to make sure I get the right one. Got it. Share. All right. Okay. We're not going to be here yet. Actually, we're going to be here. And I have my notes here. Rolando, I agree. TGC is absolutely brilliant. Alien technology. It's kind of like Pulse Chain ETF. That's correct. It's like the ETF of Pulse Chain. Or just holding pTGC is like providing LP. Yeah, because you earn via the transactions. I'm betting on it. Yes. White paper. All right, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to remove this so that we can see the whole thing. Okay, we're going to read these. The reason why we're reading the white paper is I want you to be fully informed about what you're getting into. I mean, hearing from me is great, but the white paper was written by the founder or founders, and that is, I would depend on that more than me. An interesting thought about white papers, you could potentially pop that into a chat GPT and ask it questions. It's just an idea. It is truly decentralized, 100% autonomous, 100% deflationary. There's no inflation. Set token supply, we started at 333 billion. We're down to like 303 or 4 or something like that. Staking with no time constraints or early withdrawal penalties. Fully decentralized amplifier tokens adding constant perpetual volume. That's the 808 burn, liquid, and energy. There is voluntary time locking. Freedom to collect rewards without breaking stake or the time lock, like we discussed. You can earn high APY reflection rewards based on market volume. We talked about that, the volume on the Pulse network increasing. Perpetual auto buys and burns of pTGC with each transaction on the chain. That's the tax. Auto LP add with each transaction locked within the LP. And we talked about that. Contract built with an ever rising LP floor. Liquidity pool and web mechanics in place, adding perpetual volume with each transaction. I wonder if I can make this bigger. Yeah, let's do that. I like that. Burn address, marketing wallet, and main liquidity pool are excluded from the rewards. That's a good idea. Liquidity on PulseX is burned and locked forever, and it's growing. The contracts are renounced. They cannot be modified. It has a community-driven DAO where the top 100 stakers may submit proposals that fuel the growth of pTGC. I mean, think about it. The top 100 stakers are interested in this thing being successful. And they got to, I think we're going to read about how the DAO works. All pTGC stakers may vote on proposals set forth by the top 100 stakers of the DAO. There you go. The Grays currency solution. The Grays have been watching, waiting, precisely planning when to unleash the ultimate cryptocurrency. The Grays currency is the first of its kind, renounced, immutable, deflationary cryptocurrency designed to generate passive income for holders without resorting to inflating the token supply. The Grays delivers, I want to touch on that. So I said you can compound your interest back into the principal. Yeah, that's a good idea. But you can also look at it as like you own a property that's paying you, and you can take that. You can do whatever you want with that. The Grays delivers the benefits of inflation without the actual inflation. The Grays is the ultimate passive income machine. while delivering token mechanics that ever increase the value of the token itself and the underlying liquidity pools that underpin its value with hyper deflationary mechanics. pTGC stakers may also participate in a DAO, allowing proposals and votes on treasury allocated to further the pTGC mission of becoming the most valuable and liquid digital income generating asset on the Pulse chain blockchain. Welcome to the Grays. Excuse me. It was launched 100% complete. I'm looking at my notes, making sure I'm staying on task. We got through that. The tax system. Give me a second, guys. Give me a second. Raise currency solution. Okay, we're going to go to the tax system. Must be down here. Yes. With every buy, sell, a 5% tax is paid. Hold on. None of the tax goes to the dev wallets. I like that. Taxes are distributed into specific functions that support the Grays currency. All taxes are collected in Pulse, the native coin of the Pulse chain blockchain. The treasury, Pulse, is distributed based on passing proposals through the DAO to fund things such as, but not limited to, I want to say the top 100 stakers can submit proposals, but everyone can vote. Everyone that is staked. Not limited to locking liquidity in the core V1 LP on PulseX, pTGC market buy and burns, distributing rewards to holders and stakers, adding to the ever-rising LP floor, creating new LPs for bot arbitrage activity, potential collaborations, marketing campaigns, and more. The pTGC tax system fuels the pTGC token mechanic, which is specifically designed so short-term holders and traders actually support the long-term health and ever-growing value of the protocol, which benefits long-term holders with every buy and sell of pTGC. And we talked about the tax distribution, but there it is in black and white. If you want to take a look at that, we're going to talk about burning next. With every buy and sell, there is an auto burn function built into the smart contract. All burned tokens are sent to a dead wallet address in which they can never be sold again. Burning tokens is the same as if someone purchased them and never sold them. The Grays burn mechanics create continuous upward momentum for the project. Burning a pTGC will allow for it to stay deflationary while lowering the supply with every transaction. pTGC will start with a supply of 333 billion and will decrease with each transaction. Staking, it would be the next section. Let me have a look at the chat here. Let's see my buddy James. How you doing, James? Good to see you. There's no cake, buddy. There's no cake. Staking of the pTGC token can be performed on our dApp. There's the link. We're going to review it. While many benefits can be found with staking pTGC, one unique feature is there is no time lock requirement on your staked pTGC tokens. There is an option. We're going to talk about it. Additional benefits of staking your pTGC are that you will receive significantly more rewards on trading volume than the typical holder who has not staked. In addition, when staked with any amount, you're eligible to participate in the DAO, allowing you to vote on proposals submitted for the use of the PLS and the DAO's treasury wallet. Your staked tokens stay in your wallet as we believe in self-custody. So that's a unique thing about pTGC. When you stake, your wallets will stay in your tokens will stay in your wallet, and you'll see them in there. You might be confused, like, I thought I staked. You did. Just go to the DApp and you can confirm that, but your tokens are still in your wallet. When a stake is ended by using the withdraw function, there is a 1% fee that gets distributed to all the current stakers. 1%, guys, which you can get back pretty quickly by when you stake, you'll see what happens. You'll see reflections in your wallet as soon as you have pTGC in your wallet. You'll be like, oh, I already got a little. And then when you stake, you get a little more. Well, that will add up quickly. And when you withdraw, there is a 1% fee on whatever you withdraw, and you can withdraw whatever you want. You don't have to withdraw the whole thing. There is time locking. Yeah, man. All pTGC holders have the option to stake their tokens with no time lock. However, some stakers may choose to lock their tokens to hedge impulse to sell during market fluctuations. I'm going to make sure I'm on. Yeah, I am supposed to read this one. It's a good thing. To lock, a user must have their token staked to enter a time lock. So you got to have if you're going to lock, which I recommend doing very deliberately and carefully. We'll talk about that. If you're going to lock, tokens must be staked. If a staker decides to lock their tokens for safekeeping, a staker has the option to time lock their staked pTGC. No, tokens remain in the wallet while staked and locked. User can view tokens. We already talked about that. All stakers who decide to lock are divided up into 10 tiers, depending on the length of their lock. Users earn a distribution based on how much pTGC is staked. I hope that's not confusing. We're going to talk about the 10 tiers. Users earn a distribution based on how much pTGC is staked. I think that's understandable. Depending on what tier a user falls in, users will receive a distribution of the reward pool. This happens automatically, like every time there's a transaction. If any locker decides to end their time lock early, they're penalized 30% of the locked tokens. This penalty is then distributed to all current lockers. The amount each locker receives is based on their tier, rank, and locked amount of pTGC. Note, once locked period has ended, a user may remain in the lock. I like that, and continue to accumulate rewards with no penalties. Here's some. I'm going to skip the examples. If you want to read them, then print this or just review it on the website. So here's the time locking tier system. Tier 1. Let's start with tier 10 because I have several of these different types of locks. The 90-day. This is like the easiest one because you're locking your tokens only for 90 days. And after 90 days, you can keep that lock. You don't have to unlock it, but you can claim claim is the key word, those rewards anytime you want. Now, when you claim, let's say you have 5,000 pTGC in rewards. When you claim, you're going to 45% of that is going to be burned. Okay, and you will take home 55%. So whatever 55% of 5,000 would be. And then these other tiers, 9 through 1. If you're a tier 5, for example, 20% of that will be burned. You'll keep 80%. Tier 10 is the maxis, and they will earn 100%. But think about it. When you lock for 90 days and you claim your rewards, you're helping the system, which is only helping your bags. The Grace Currency DAO. We have like 5 sections left. The pTGC DAO uses a token-based quorum model. For a proposal to pass, and this is about the DAO, 65%, it must have 65% positive feedback. All proposals will remain open for 7 days. Failing to get enough votes or enough positive feedback means that the proposal fails. The destination address that will receive the pulse from the DAO contract will be the address that submitted the proposal. Funds must be available for a proposal to be submitted. Only the top 100 stakers can submit proposals, but all stakers can vote on each proposal. Permissions allow for 1 open proposal at a time per wallet. The more tokens you hold, the more voting weight you have. Full voting weight is applied on every vote. A comment section is provided on each proposal for community discussion. We'll look at that on the website. The goal is for most of the proposals submitted to be relative to LP buy and burns and pTGC buy and burns. However, some proposals can be related to marketing, LP web growth, potential collaborations, and so on. Knowing that community growth, LP burns, token burns, and marketing go hand in hand for success. We took these 4 functions and combined them together with DAO, as the Grays believe this is the foundation for any successful project. I think we're getting close to the end, guys. Rolando has a 90 lock right now. Cool, man. Way to go. Liquidity. Most pTGC liquidity will be held in the V1 pair on Pulse X. The pTGC smart contract will auto-compound this liquidity pool with every transaction. For clarification, liquidity is the ability of an asset to be easily exchanged for another without affecting its value. pTGC will be paired with many of the top Pulse chain tokens, like 25 or something like that right now. All of these, and these are all very carefully selected pairs. All of these pairs will continually add to the V1 liquidity pair via the smart contract. pTGC has set up a liquidity pool web effect. Oh yeah, it's a Weberite between pTGC and many other assets, making many paths to move around Pulse chain for both holders and arbitrage. Liquidity web. I don't like reading the white paper. I'll be honest. I'm like, why do I got to read this? Because I think it's important that everybody read the white paper. And I think this is important here. pTGC is designed with a liquidity pool web mechanism built into the smart contract with every specific order in which LPs are deployed. We aim to continue to grow this LP web by constantly buying and burning LP with current LP pools and new ones as well. As this web gets bigger, we create more paths and larger paths for holders or bots to move funds around to take advantage of arbitrage opportunities. Every time a transaction is done within our web of LPs, the wallet making the transaction pays a fee into the ecosystem. This fee continuously raises the floor of the ecosystem in exchange for us offering this pathway for the trader arbitrage bot. This mechanism will continue to raise the floor of pTGC forever. The web that was created continues to operate at a high volume level without any human interaction and can never be turned off as the LP pool tokens are burnt forever. The burning of these LP pools doesn't only cause a perpetual raising of the pTGC floor, but also raises the floor of the token we are paired with. These bonds will remain forever and will continue to grow over time. What does the floor mean? Well, if every pTGC that is not currently in the liquidity pool is sold into the pool, the resulting price of pTGC is the floor. A lower price is not possible as there is no pTGC left to sell. The Gray's currency is perpetually raising the floor. It's brilliant, guys. It's absolutely brilliant. Here are the amplifier tokens. pTGC does not only bond itself with other Pulse chain ecosystem projects, and these amplifiers came after pTGC was launched, but also has its own set of amplifier tokens. These tokens have specific functions that benefit this ecosystem while also having tokenomics to benefit themselves. These amplifiers tie directly into the pTGC liquidity web and are ever raising the floor. However, they also have their own LP web, allowing constant trade amongst arbitrage bots, which greatly adds to the volume of the token without human interaction. These amplifier tokens are burn, liquid, 808, and energy. Every time an amplifier token is traded, it will directly benefit the pTGC system while also benefiting itself. Here they are, along with their contract address. So, and the reward, like if you hold liquid, you will get reward in Pulse. If you hold burn, you'll get a reward in Pulse. What about 808? I have not studied these a lot, really, to be honest. And we got covered that. Closing remarks. Oh, I love this. You guys are going to like this. In closing, the Gray's currency, this is like a summary, wrapping it up, is a fully automated, decentralized digital asset that offers unrivaled token mechanics, all designed with the sole purpose of increasing the pTGC token price, while more importantly, increasing the value of the underlying liquidity pools that allow people to take profits. There is no benefit to an increase in a token's price if the holders can't sell due to underfunded liquidity pools. In addition, the ability to offer a true passive income to holders without resorting to inflating the token supply is very powerful. In fact, pTGC is a hyper deflationary asset. Yeah, we burned 100 million this week. Always becoming scarcer and by default increasing the floor of its own liquidity pools. Giving holders the ability to earn a passive income without time locks provides liquid flexibility, and freedom to use your crypto when and how you choose. A deflationary token backed by an ever-growing network of deep liquidity pools, with the primary LP being PLS. With every buy and sell, pTGC is being removed from the circulating supply forever. As of today, which was back in November, the mechanics of pTGC has already created a core liquidity pool with over 1.5 billion PLS in it, paired with pTGC and adding, I'm going to skip that, blah, 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 blah. Welcome to the Grays currency, first of its kind, reverse engineered cryptocurrency for the people, by the people. Originally deployed protocol was audited by Solid Proof with full transparently. There was only a few lines of code altered to accommodate for deployment of the Grays currency on Pulse chain. We're done. We're done. Okay. Hey, how's it going, Scott? Rolando, I've been DCAing back in. Good deal. DCAing today. I love it. I got just a fuzz last weekend, just a little bit. I am impressed with the people that have been in this project since October or very, very early. And these guys they've made some X's, okay? They're still buying. That impresses me. pTGC is true DeFi and follows Satoshi's first principles of crypto. Bear. James, I came in a little bit late. Can you do it over again from page 2? No. No, James, we're not going to do it over again. All right. What is next on the agenda? We're going to review the site. Let's get straight into it. Pulse chain. Let's see. Here we go. Review the site. And I have no notes on what I'm supposed to cover in here. We're just going to wing it. Okay. So let's go to the home page. I do have a wallet pulled up, and we're going to get to that. So on the home page, you can see the price over here. Obviously, the connect wallet thing over here, and your tabs across the top. Down here, hide that. Okay. There is information about the Grays, and then pool information. You got your price, market cap, the number of holders. We only have 5,000 holders, guys. We're trying to get this to 10,000. So if you have any ideas about like starting a YouTube channel or anything like that, you might want to act on that. And also, let's be active on socials if we're trying to bring people into this thing, like Twitter specifically, and telling our friends. There are 1,300 stakers. $5 million worth has been locked. There is, oh, there we are, 301 billion in circulation, or 302 if you want to round it up. 224 billion has been staked, and 32 billion has been burned. That is impressive, guys. We're going to be under 300 billion circulating supply by mid to late April. Staking. Let's talk. Oh, here's where you can view the stake contract and the TGC contract. And there are some things about, you just hover over these little question marks and you can get some answers like, what is the set supply? Okay, let's talk about staking. I'm on this page a lot more than I am the other ones. So up here, you'll see the total TGC staked, locked, and then in this wallet, the total TGC earned from holding, because you earn TGC 3 different ways: holding, staking, and locking. And then so earn from staking right here and earn from locking. And then the total right there. Okay, does that make sense? I don't want to be confusing. Okay, so this is a 1 million pTGC stake and lock that I made a couple months ago as an experiment. And we're tracking it periodically. And this, we started at here it is, 1 million pTGC. I staked it on February 10th. And it's going to end, it's a 10-year lock. I have claimed some. I was doing that weekly. Now I'm doing that monthly. It has earned, here's the total, 7,000 TGC. I don't know if that includes the lock. I think it probably does. But this is where if you have pTGC in your stake, in your wallet, then you stake it. Okay. And then you can select an amount, or you can do 50% or 100%. Okay. And then you confirm it in your wallet, and then you'll have a stake. So that's where you go. And then that's how you start a stake. If you wanted to lock, obviously, we said that you need to have your TGC staked. So if you wanted to lock that, you need to come over here and you go, okay, I want to lock it. How much do you want to lock? How long do you want to lock for? If you're going to do a 10-year lock, that's 3,650 days, I believe. And you can set your lock amount. I really like this. It's dynamic. Like you can choose how much you want to lock and for how long. And refer to the chart, the locking chart for how much you would earn. And then when you're ready when you have yield in there, like we do in this wallet, then you click on the claim button, not withdraw. See, if you withdraw, you're going to pay a 1% fee. So what you want to do is claim your yield. You don't want to withdraw your entire bag out of the stake. So you hit claim, and we're not going to do that. Actually. Okay, so that is any questions? Yeah, do your 10-year locks. You'll never have to work for money again. In theory. But look at this. This is interesting. Look how much we earned from staking, 2,800 versus locking, 1,400. That's the quandary for me, if that's the right word. I am locked. Practically all of my pTGC is in one lock or another. And when people unlock, yeah, man, it can get exciting. But yeah, that's a decision you're going to have to make. And I got some notes in the sheets to help you with that. Here's the DAO. Now, if you want to see the top 100 stakers, you click on make a proposal, and then you can see. And wouldn't it be nice to have the ability to submit proposals? So you can come here and find out whether you are one of the top 100 or not. And I'm going to tell you, it's harder than it was, obviously, to get in the top 100, but we're still, I think it cost about under 10 grand to become a top 100 staker. And then you can submit proposals. Top 100 stakers are going to be pulling up here in a second. And then we've got a game. The game has been interesting. You play the game with 10,000 pulse, and that pulse is, I think half of it is burned. I don't honestly, I don't know how the game mechanics work. Here are the top 100 stakers. There's the top one, 17 billion pTGC. Let's see what qualifies now. You got to have 283 million pTGC to be in the top 100. So you could bump this guy if you had, more than this. That makes sense. Yeah. Here's the game. And you can, let's see, where'd it go? Okay, here is information about the game. 50% goes to the DID address. This game ends in 1 day, 8 hours. You can buy your ticket. You just connect your wallet and pay 10,000 pulse. Here's some of the top winners, but those are from a while ago. Let's see. Most recent winners, 115,000 TGC, 230,000 pTGC, and 500,000 TGC, which is profitable for 10,000 pulse. And then the TGC stats. You've got your supply distribution over here on the left, which is going to be a pie chart when it pulls up. Burned pTGC graph. Look how much we've been burning, guys. In the month of March, it's been crazy. This is exciting times. These are exciting times. Okay, so you have your staked over here in blue, staked and locked in green. The amount burned, like nearly 10%. This is 9.5%. The amount of the liquidity pool in red, and then the amount held in people's wallets, which is 18.3%. In my opinion, there's really no point in only holding pTGC. I want mine staked. It only costs like 1% to withdraw it, literally. Total TGC burned till now, 9.1%. And here's a projected burn over for the next 6 months, 20%. But that would be and this is based on current levels. So whether this happens or not depends on, everything's going to change. So, but if we continued on this current track in 6 months, 20% more would be burned, like 66 billion pTGC. Am I making sense, guys? Is this valuable? I hope so. Here's some Gray's gear. I guess you got to leave the site to get to your Gray's gear. I'm not going to do that. I think there are hoodies, t-shirts, mugs, that sort of thing. Okay, let's move on to how to on-ramp. So let's say you're on another chain. You're on Ethereum. You're on Binance. You're on Optimism. How do you get over to the Pulse chain where pTGC lives? Well, you can find this. You can find this document in the description of the video, and it will walk you through how to get from another chain to the Pulse chain. And you basically just follow the steps. Okay, follow the steps. I think this might actually be geared toward people coming over from Ethereum. Honestly, I haven't looked at it in detail, but you may do that. Okay. And I heard this on a stream yesterday that you can use Change Now to get over. So you don't actually have to use the bridge. Okay. I've been bridging from Ethereum to the Pulse network, but I think you can just swap if you have Ethereum, swap from Ethereum to PLS on Change Now. And then once you have PLS, then you can swap for pTGC. And Crypto Coffee did a video about how to buy a Pulse chain with cheaper fees using Arbitrum and Binance, BSC, alternate bridge. You can basically circumvent Ethereum where the expenses are the fees are very high, and get onto the Pulse chain a different way, if you will. Let's talk about these sheets. So over here is the 1 million pTGC experiment that I'm doing. And all of this is on one sheet, which can be a little confusing, but it would be more confusing for me if I had to use multiple sheets. And then over here on the right, I have, if you can see that they're in brown, there are some tabs that I'm working on, so you can kind of ignore those. But the ones in the middle that have no color, those are the ones we're going to cover right now. So pTGC distribution. So on my sheets, the orange are inputs. The green are like headings and that sort of thing, fixed. They're fixed, whatever you want to call them, headings. And then the blue are outputs. So let's say what this sheet does is it illustrates how much money is sent to the DAO, stakers, burnt, and all that. So let's say there's a $100 transaction. Well, $2 would go to the DAO, $1 to the holders, $1 worth of pTGC. We go to the holders and stakers, $1 to the stakers, 0.5% or 50 cents to the buy and burn, 50 cents to the to LP. Now, if it's an AMM bot, because they're balancing pairs, they're going to buy and sell, so they got to do it twice. So they would pay that 5% of $100 twice. So 4%, $4 to the DAO, and so on. That's that sheet. The average growth. So this is interesting. I did this like in February, and it was very exciting because we were averaging 5Xs per month. I don't think we're going to hit 5Xs at the end of March. Am I concerned about that? Absolutely not. But this basically has it shows the growth of pTGC. Okay. And I'm tracking this every month. So I will be updating this next weekend. Here's a reflections tracker that you can use. put in the price, PLS price, what you started with and what you have now. And it's going to show you the value, the difference, in this case, 25,000 pTGC. And you can set the time frame over here. You can do this every week or however you want to do it. And it's going to show you the value that you've earned based upon the TTC price. And then I like to think in terms of per day or per month or per year. Okay. Now, these are some important notes I made that I've been collecting. And if you have any thoughts, get them over to me about locking. And I'm not going to review all of these, but if you are thinking about locking, do yourself a favor and review these notes. Okay. Because and sleep on it. You pay a 30% penalty if you end your lock early. Okay. And I told you guys I was going to tell you a story about myself getting wrecked. I'll tell that right now. The site has changed. The site has changed. I'm not going to blow it up, but I had been in TGC for a week, and I had a lock. I had locked some TGC, and I came to my office right here Saturday morning with my mug of coffee. And I was so excited to end my stake, to claim my PGC and put it back on top. And at the time, there was no fail safe. Right now, if you click on unlock, it's going to warn you and say, do you really want to unlock? Okay. There was nothing like that. And the buttons were right below each other. For staking, I hit the claim button. And I got it claimed, and then I went straight down to that unlock button. I hit the unlock button and I confirmed it, and I nuked like 24 million pTGC, which a year from now, who knows how much that's going to be worth. It was a bad day. It was a bad day. I immediately had to buy all that back. Didn't waste any time. Now that's my sad story. The Brave Banana nuke 24 million pTGC. It was bad. So you got to pay attention to what you're doing. I mean, you're in crypto, you just need to. So that's whether to unlock or not. And like I said, nowadays there is and I reached out to the founder. He's on Telegram. I was like, hey, we got to fix this. And he did. Token positions. I like to know, I like to own a certain percent of the supply. How long are we at? 53 minutes. Perfect. Okay. So put in here how much you own, and it's going to, and update the supply, and it's going to show you what you got for position. And this 0.03%, I call that 3 dolphin positions. That's just how I look at it. And you would be 1 out of 3,000, of the holders. But if you eliminated the top 100 wallets, which is 188 billion, then you would be 8 dolphin positions. This is how I think, or 1 out of 1,148 people that hold pTGC. And then you can put in here what's your goal. There's a video tutorial how to go through all this. Okay, guys, what's your goal? How many X's you need to, or how much you need to get there. Where are we at here? The freedom number. I like this one. I really like this one. And I've got feedback from other people that really like it. So what's your freedom number per month? Put that in here in the orange. Remember, orange are the inputs. This is the number of X's. That number times 3. So this number times 3 equals your 3-year expenses for a long bear market. Okay. So if this is your total freedom number, everything, taxes and everything, you'll need to, scrape $252,000 to last you for 3 years. Extra savings just in case. You can do whatever you want in these orange fields. Crypto, what's the value of your crypto portfolio now? Let's say it's 50 grand. How much you'd like to save to re-enter in the bear market? Let's say you scrape some off the top. You want to buy the bottom. I'd like to have $2 million. I'd like to, I put $10,000 into crypto this bull run. I want to do 2 million next one. Well, if you could, what would you like to invest in other assets? Well, I'd like to get into real estate. Well, how much? Okay. So this is what your bag would need to be, $4,302,000, which is an 86X from here. How cool is that? Keep in mind your taxes and your all of your expenses. So that's the freedom number. Just for fun. This is just for fun. So how much I'd like my bag to be valued. I'd like to have $1 million. How many tokens I have, the value of those tokens, and this would be the price needed and the number of X's to get there. And then there's some other stuff. I think there's a video for that one too. I've been changing these a little bit, and I'm going to, like, tomorrow morning, I'm going to go through some of these and kind of smooth them a little bit. So if you download this from the description, and you want the latest, you got to download it again later. Compounding interest, and you don't need to ask for like any admin privileges when you download this. Just download it and make it your own. Here's a video tutorial about compounding interest, and I want to talk about this. So myself and many others, when we got into pTGC, we were compounding like way too frequently. Why too frequently? Well, I discovered that compounding more than, maybe twice a week or once a week is really kind of beating your head against the wall. However, if you have a big yield day, I would compound that. But if you're like hitting your average, if you're hitting your average, you might want to just wait a few days to let it pile up and then compound. And weekly is a good goal. Why? Because you're really not going to affect your bottom line by compounding, multiple times a day, unless you're like really throwing a lot back in. And here's why. So if you compound weekly, that's equivalent of 140,000. You have 100 million in principal, 140,000 in yield in this illustration. And then you recycle, 0.14 times per day. I just had to put that in there to make it a week, to make it equivalent to the other timelines. Then in 365 days, your profit would be 7.5 million pTGC. Now, if you compounded daily, same scenario, 100 principal, 20,000 a day. See how that 140 is 7 times that. Okay. So you're recycling 1 time a day. You're going to make, look, your yield for compounding weekly is 7.5 million. If you compounded daily, you would make 4,707 more. That's why compounding more than about weekly is really not doing yourself any favors. You might be spending, you got to keep it. You got to bear in mind that you're spending gas, which thankfully on the Pulse chain is very, very cheap. And here is this one's really rough. There's a video tutorial, but you can, how are you going to dollar cost average out? Or are you going to dollar cost average out, at the top of the bowl? Okay. So we reviewed my calculators. Let me scan the chat. Rolando says, thanks for covering pTGC. If people understood the brilliance of this project, we'd be way higher than 5,000 holders. Agreed. Rolando, did you have the same experience as me? Unlocked like a dummy intentionally, but now that I understand the tokenomics, I'm holding. Okay. Yeah, I don't know that you had that same experience. I hope you didn't, dude. I think there were others, though. I think the TGC builders are cooking up something to leverage Zen's upcoming X1. Oh, well, that's interesting. Okay. Well, you know more than I do, Rolando. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm excited to hear whatever they're cooking up. Rolando says, I try to restake my earnings every month. Good. Maybe you should do it once a week. Not financial advice, just saying. I'm going to tell you that, like, this pTGC thing really helps me scratch my itch. I love interacting with the blockchain, and I get to do that when I have yield in my wallet that I get to throw back into the burn and into the principal. Okay, We're going to review hold on a second, video details. Let's look at the chart just quickly. Is that not a beautiful chart? Yeah, we've had some pullback, but like everything else has been pulled back that we're tied in liquidity with. So yeah, I zoomed this out. If you zoom in, it doesn't look real great, but if you zoom out, it looks better, don't it? Let's review the description. And this is not the best place to do this because this is not where you guys are seeing it. Sorry about that, but all of this is in the description of. Let's just go there. I wonder if I can do that while I'm on stream. Bear with me, guys. We're almost done. That was me. All right, hold on. Leave that. We're gonna go here. Let's jump down to the description. Okay, some great YouTube channels. Well, number one, there's the website. Coach X, sub to him. He does a daily on pTGC. The verse is excellent. He covers pTGC frequently, and you can go back and listen to his archives about pTGC, and they're good. Mike, the investor, has been producing a little bit about pTGC. Of course, the Prairie Banana. Crypto Kindness has done a couple of streams about it, and Crypto Kings 888 has done a stream or two about pTGC. Follow these people on Twitter. The Gray's Currency, that's the founder. Coach X, follow him. Goo God is a good one to follow. He's very engaged on Twitter, I can tell you that. Let me know if there are any others that I should add to this list. Follow the Prairie Banana, Mike the Investor. Here's a link to this sheet using this presentation. Join us in Telegram. There's a lot of guys in there that can answer any questions that you might have. Here's the chart. Here is a link to how to buy pTGC. There's a how to buy pTGC in a video right here. I think that's Crypto Kindness. Not sure. How to buy TGC more inexpensively by circumventing the high fees on Ethereum. That's Crypto Coffee. Link to the white paper. A recent rant by Coach. I recommend, if you haven't heard this, you should give this a listen about the value of pTGC. Here is the contract address. A link to the audit, if you care to. A link to buy a Trezor hardware wallet that I showed you guys at the beginning. I recommend you buy a hardware wallet, and that is my referral link. Only buy them. I forgot to say this. Only buy hardware wallets direct from the manufacturer, and that's a link to the manufacturer. I don't buy them off of Amazon. That could be dangerous. And then here's my donation address. You just got to pop that in, and you can see my my .pls. I'm not asking for donations, but sometimes people want to. So there it is. Final notes, guys. We're on the final stretch. We're like we're going to go break the tape here. So I'm going to do this. Rolando, I'm not worried about the chart short term at all. Me neither. I believe more volume will come to PLS in the near future. 100%, dude. What decreases supply? Buys, sells of users and the AMM bots, unlocks early and on time. 90-day lockers keep 55%, but the rest is burned. Withdrawals burn 1%. The game burns, and transfers and self burns. Is that enough to burn? That sounds like a lot of little mechanics that are burning this token. We covered that. If Pulse does, I'm going to erase some of this stuff on the fly. This token is a leverage play on Pulse. So if Pulse does however many X's, pTGC is going to do however many X's, but it's a leverage play, so it should do more. Beware. Okay, this is worth noting. Beware of tax tokens. Be sure to mint them from a wallet you want to keep them on. Okay. Don't be like me and buy them on one wallet and then transfer to another, because then you are paying that 5% tax. So if you If you want to have pTGC on multiple wallets, send your pulse or whatever you're swapping for to those wallets and then swap from there so you can avoid paying the 5% tax. What increases the number of reflections earned by the holders? Network volume. Okay, and also increase prices of, here's like a little mind exercise. Increased prices of the tokens that pTGC is paired with can also increase the value of the or the number of reflections, because the AMM bots will need to pay more dollar value in taxes per transaction. So here's the example. Because Teddy Bear today is whatever it is, 0.5027, whatever it is. But if it 100x's, then the amount needed to balance the pairs will also 100x, thereby 100xing the amount paid in taxes per transaction. And that's not absolute, but it kind of gives you the idea where this thing is going, because as prices go up, there's going to be more taxes paid. You can take profits all the way up and all the way down. You can do whatever you want with those reflections that come into your wallet. You can compound, you can get into other assets, other projects, or you can take them home. I look at pTGC as like holding real estate. And as supply is burned, like right now, let's say I've got a duplex, and as supply is burned and I've been compounding, well, one day I'll have a fourplex, and the renters are paying me every month, actually every second, or however often they come into my wallet. And I don't have to go to the bank to deposit a check. I don't have to unplug clogged toilets. I don't have to deal with tenants, checking them out, checking them in. I don't have to pay property taxes. pTGC is like real estate without any of the hassles. So I love it. And that is it. Guys, thank you for joining me on this presentation about pTGC. I'm going to move this right here. And we just like last time, right at an hour. Guys, thanks again for showing up. If you're thinking about starting a channel, go ahead and do it. Let's be active on Twitter. Post this on your Twitter. And if you know somebody that's interested in pTGC, get this to them so they can hit the deck running. Okay, guys, have a great day. Talk soon. Bye.